Facebook removed several ads placed by Senator Elizabeth Warren's presidential campaign that called for the breakup of Facebook and other tech giants, only to later reverse the course after Politico reported on the takedown. Joining us to talk about this story is Steve Malzberg. Steve, the stories on Facebook are amazing to me. 10 years ago, 15 years ago, you'd never say that there was really any controversy. There was never anything that was particularly questionable about the conduct of the folks that run Facebook. Nowadays, it's every single week where something like this is uncovered. The ads, which included a video in this situation, directed to users to a petition on Elizabeth Warren's campaign website, urging them to support her plan to break up big tech companies. Next thing she knows, they pull her down. What is your take on this?
Well, that's my problem, and we'll get to Elizabeth Warren's plan to break up the tech companies. But my problem with Facebook and the tech companies is their censorship, and that they don't have to answer to anybody. And they claim that this was against Facebook policy. Then they claim that Elizabeth Warren used Facebook's logo in the ad, which is against their policy. But they said, in the interest of robust debate, we are restoring the ads. Now, they never would have restored these ads if it wasn't pointed out to them, and if it wasn't a powerful United States senator who was involved here, who might, be able to present legislation against Facebook. But then again, they make their own rules. So if somebody's putting out something that says, do away with Facebook or break up Facebook, and puts an ad up there on Facebook, if I'm Facebook, I'll take it down. Who's going to stop me? They make their own rules. They have to answer to nobody. So they have the ability to do it.
Okay,
why not do it?
Steve, here's the bigger problem. I heard an interview the other day where it was regard to as the new snowflake mode of operation, and that is somebody offends somebody on Facebook. And even though we as taxpayers helped pay for the infrastructure for Facebook, for some reason we forget that. People forget that taxpayers helped build the infrastructure, paid for these fiber optics, paid for a lot of stuff for Facebook. Facebook then added on to that and made it what it is. But they couldn't have done it without the participation of taxpayers. Now, these snowflake regulators, as I heard them referred to, and I think it's probably pretty accurate, don't offend anybody. Oh my gosh, you hurt our feelings. We've made a decision that what you're saying is not appropriate. These word police are completely in charge of what we think, what we say, what we legislate, what we discuss, what we argue about, and it is just a disaster. I don't know how else to describe it. What's your take?
Oh, I could not agree more with you. It is out of control. And again, in the case of Facebook, and in the case of Google, and in the case of YouTube through Google, and all the other platforms. Look, Apple just took down, according to the founder of this app, it was an app that went against the grain on the popular thought on global warming or climate change. He's a geologist. He presents a whole bunch of facts that he says show that Al Gore and the others are wrong. Apple reportedly took that down, and they have no one to answer to. It's outrageous that they are the thought police, the word police. They decide who gets hurt, who doesn't get hurt, who gets to monetize their product, who doesn't. And that's where we need regulation. That's where these companies are getting away with murder. I mean, somebody's got to rein them in.
Here's the way in. The way in is to equate them with a public common kind of argument. They are using the public commons to deliver this product that they're making billions of dollars with. Senator Warren, she also said that she'd seek legislation requiring that certain large tech companies be designated as platform utilities, you understand, and broken apart from any kind of participation on a platform. That's the attack. That's the approach. Understand, they are a quasi public platform in the fact that taxpayers, but for the investment into infrastructure by the taxpayers, they wouldn't be a platform at all. So now this idea, they're going to legislate what we think about, what we say. We're going to have Zuckerberg making decisions like that. Really? Well, you know, look at the decisions they're making with no accountability other than to say, we just didn't like what you said and we made this decision. It is time to break these folks up. Time to break them up. Steve, you see it any other way?
Well, I agree with the everything we've discussed so far as the thought police and the speech police and the snowflakes, and they target conservatives like me and others more so than the other side. So I agree with you on everything you just said, and I think we could regulate that. I beg them to regulate that without breaking up the companies. What she's introducing in legislation is to prohibit companies from providing a marketplace where they could sell products by participating in that place. In other words, tech companies that offer an online marketplace or a platform couldn't own the platform and any of the companies that compete with each other in that platform. She also wants to undo previous mergers, like she doesn't like Facebook acquiring WhatsApp or Amazon purchasing Whole Foods and Google buying Waze and DoubleClick. I don't have a problem with those. I don't have a problem with those.
Well, I got to tell you, we have to be all in on this. You and I might disagree with how extreme it is. It has, in my mind, having looked at the antitrust cases over the years and having looked at the history all the way back to the 20s, the only solution is to break them up. Steve, thank you for joining me, okay?
My pleasure, anytime.